Less than 3 months after the US Congress was stormed by a far-right mob, a Capitol police officer has been killed after a man rammed a car into two officers at a barricade outside the US Capitol. The Capitol has been put on lockdown. Our correspondent from New York, Susan Tehrani, gets us more on this incident in this next report. Listen in.
An incident that rattled nerves in Washington, D.C. almost 3 months after the January 6th riots against Capitol Hill. By Friday afternoon, authorities concluded that there was no longer a threat against the Capitol complex and its surrounding areas, and that the attack did not seem to be terrorism related. The shooting and crash happened as Congress is in recess and shortly after U.S. President Joe Biden departed the White House to Camp David. Friday was also the start of the long Easter holiday weekend. Messages of condolences for the officer killed in the line of duty poured in from lawmakers across the aisle. I'm heartbroken for the officer killed today, defending our Capitol, and for his family. I'm praying for the officer injured and his family, tweeted Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat from New York. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican from Kentucky, issued a statement which partly read, "I am heartbroken that Officer Evans was killed today in the line of duty. On this Good Friday, let's all pray for healing for the surviving officer, comfort for Officer Evans' family, and for all the officers and families of the United States Capitol Police." House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ordered the flags at the Capitol to be flown at half-staff in response to the Capitol police officer's death. Parts of the security fencing that prevented traffic near that area due to the January 6th riots were recently removed. Friday's incident will reinvigorate questions about how to protect the Capitol and whether some enhanced security measures should become permanent. Incidents like these have been rare throughout the years, but this latest one showed once again that the Capitol, lawmakers, and the officers guarding the premise all continue to face serious threats. So the big decision about how closed off the seat of American democracy really needs to be may have to be made sooner than later. Susan Tehrani from New York for WION. World is One.
As the new Biden administration attempts to overturn the legacy of former President Donald Trump, it has taken another huge step in that direction by lifting Trump-imposed sanctions on the ICC prosecutor. They have rendered Trump's move as ineffective and inappropriate. Most importantly, the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, has reiterated that the United States will still disagreed with the court moves on Afghanistan and Israel and objected to the ICC's efforts to assert jurisdiction over personnel of non-states parties. Remember, the US is not a part of ICC. However, the stance over the issue has evolved under the Biden administration as Blinken called for a more cooperative relationship. The former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, had imposed sanctions and refused visas for the outgoing prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda. This after she launched an investigation into alleged war crimes by the US military personnel in Afghanistan. Further irritated by the court after it opened an investigation into the alleged war crimes in the Palestinian territories by Israel, the US's retort has now intensified. Earlier in 2020, Trump also authorized the use of such sanctions against the ICC and also declared the situation a national emergency, calling the court a threat to the United States. The International Criminal Court, on the other hand, has welcomed Biden's move. It said that the move signals a new era of cooperation to fight against impunity. WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.